Family and friends.
Microphone.
Oh, yes, Micah.
Microphone.
Family and friends, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to each of you this morning as we join to offer salutation and devotions to the feet of Bhagwan. I invite you with Shyam. Shyam is going to do the opening prayer this morning, so let's stand and join.
Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Tam Sachanurmardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadaguru Om Adakshe Varade Devi Akshare Brahma Varani Gayatri Jagat Mata Vishwayogi Namastute Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarunivandana Nityo Mokshiramanita Om Prithvi Tvayadhita Loka Devi Tvam Vishnunavrita Tvam Chadayamam Devi Pavitram Guruchasam Om Shri Prithvi Mata Yo Namah Namami.
Listen. Om Pavitra Pavitra Sarvashtangatopya Yashmare Pundarikaksham Savaya Bhayantra Suchimashya Om Haspracharanam Samarpyami Govindaya Namah. Right now, the drops of the water is Swaha. Om Amritopastaramasi Swaha. Again. Om Amrita Pidhanmasi Swaha. Once more. Om Satyam Yasha Shrirmai Shri Shrayatam Swaha. Hasprakshalanam Samarpyami Govindaya Namah. Om Kushmule Sito Brahma Kushmadye Jaladana Kusagre Sankram Devam Kushdaram Karo Mayam. Om Yena Padmumbali Raja Danindro Mahabala Leen Tvam Prativarnami Raksha Machala Machala. We join in now with the unscorched purificatory rites. Touch first the lips. Om Vangamase Astu Nuz Om Nasu Me Karnostu Eyes Om Aksharo Me Chakshurastu Ears Om Karnyo Me Shrotramastu Arms Om Bahur Me Balmastu Thighs Om Urvo Me Ujvastu Alo Om Arishtani Me Angani Tustanva Me Sahasantu. Rise to the hand now. We join in our Swasti Vachan benediction mantras. Om Hari Om Swaste Na Indro Bridastava Swasti Na Pusha Vishwaveda Swasti Na Stakshorishthanevi Swasti No Brahaspatir Dadhatu Om Paya Prithivyam Payoshadishu Payudivyantarikṣhe payudha Payasmati pradesha santomyam. Om Vishnu Dharamasi Vishnu Shnatrishnu Vishnu Surasi Vishnu Dhruvasi Vishnu Vasi Vishnu Vedava. Om Agnir Devata Vatu Devata Suryo Devata Chandrama Devata Vasvo Devata Rudra Devata Aditya Devata Marutu Devata विष्णुदेव देवता बृहस्पति देवता इंद्रो देवता वरुणो देवता ओम द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिः औषधय शान्तिः वनस्पतय शान्तिः विश्वदेव शान्तिः ब्रह्मा शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ओम विश्वानि देवा सर्वदुरितानि परास्व यद्भद्रं तनआस्व ओम शुक्लं वरदं देवं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्ते ओम शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिकरा भवन्तु प्रेम से कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय शरणं प्रभु। We consecrate our Vedi now. Om Bhurasvi Bhumirasvi Ditirasvi Vismadhaya Visvasya Bhonasya Dhatri Prithvi Raksha Prithvi Trigona Prithvi Mahi Bhomsah Prem Sosa Prithvi Mata Ki Jai Sharanam Prabhu. Flowers in the hand now. We meditate on Bhagavan as Ganesha. Ganesh who's Vigneshwar, remover of obstacles, giver of success, storehouse of all wisdom. We ask, O Bhagavan, may you inspire us from within with knowledge, intelligence, wisdom, that we may recognize our challenges and the ability to overcome them as well. To this Ganesha, we join in humble समस्त विघ्नोपविनाशरक्षा मंगल पूजा प्रथमं प्रधानम् ज्ञान पूजन भगवान् नमस्ते। ओम सर्वमंगल मांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमस्तुते। श्री गणेशाय नमः नमामि श्री गौरी माता नमामि रम्यं सुशोभनं दिव्यं सर्वसौख्याकरं शुभं आसनं चरामयारं।
जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे पद्म झरे जो ध्यान तुम्हारो जिसके पूर्ण कार्य सारे। जय गणेश नाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। नाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। प्रथम धरे जो ज्ञान तुम्हारे जिसके पूर्ण कार्य सारे। नाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। प्रथम धरे जो ज्ञान तुम्हारो जिसके पूर्ण कार्य सारे। नाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। लंबोदर गज वदन मनोहर लंबोदर लंबोदरी गज बदन मनोहर गर्ति शूर शूरजधारी जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारी
जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे।
रिद्धि सिद्धि देव छवर तुआवे
रिद्धि सिद्धि दे छवन तुलावे
रिद्धि सिद्धि दो छवर तुलावे मूषक वाहन परम सहारे जय
गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे।
प्रथम धरे जो ध्यान तुम्हारो जिसके पूर्ण कालच सारे जय गणेश
गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे।
The last part is long we join our glorification of Bhagavan's benediction. Om Jai Ganapati Swade Gurnasadam Abhivadana Kripa Vignam Mangaparam Jai Jai Giraja Om Gacchas Vishnu Devi Swastavat Parameshwari Puja Karishyami Om Sada Sammukho Prem se Gauri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai Sharanam Prabhu. Once again, with flowers in the hand, we meditate on Mahalakshmi. Lakshmi, the dispenser of prosperity, of wealth, of health, of beauty, of fortune. Most importantly, in Hindu philosophy, light is a symbol of wisdom as opposed to darkness, which symbolizes ignorance. Today, we ask for Devi. In a like manner, the light dispels the darkness of night, so in the darkness of our ignorance, be replaced by the light of intelligence. This Mahalakshmi, we join in our humble salutation. Om Ramyam Sushobhanam Divyam Sarvasaukhyakaram Shibham Asanam Chamaya Raptam Granam Parameshwari Gangajalam Samanitam
इतना प्यार जगा तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जताती है, कितना प्यार जताती है। रक्षा करती पास पास की, रक्षा करती हर पल प्राण बचाती है, कितना प्यार जताती है। तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जताती
Now we glorify the Divine Mother of Mahalakshmi.
Om Lakshmi Parikrita Manokamana Siddhikari Mahalakshmi Namastuvyam Namastuvyam Visveshwari Haripriye Namastuvyam Namastuvyam Dayanive Om Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Lakshmi Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namah Namastasya 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 Namo Namah
प्रेम से महालक्ष्मी माता की जय शरणम प्रभु। We offer praises now to Sri Navgraha Devata. Navgraha symbolizing the planets in the solar system. We as Hindus, we recognize our lives are influenced by the energy which can be both positive or negative from these planets. Today we are offering praise to Bhagavan that should the constellation of the planets not be propitious for us, depending upon the time and place of birth as well as our own actions here taking precedence over everything else. Then we ask, O Bhagavan, may you see it fit to guide us on a path that we'll be able to recognize these challenges, whether it's health or life, and the ability to be able to not only to recognize but to overcome as well. Especially today we pray for those of our members who may be ill, who may be suffering in some way or the other from the negative effects of the drug. We ask Bhagavan to bless these individuals, to make them well, to make them whole, that they may once more be able to contribute to their homes and to their families. Especially today, we pray for Srimati Janki Samaru, Shriman Birju Rampal, Srimati Anjani Ramphal, Srimati Harde Ramprasad, Shriman Roy Sankar, Shriman Munisar Budan, Srimati Yolanda Bowen, Srimati Rampati, Ramrati Lilgar, Srimati Pulbasi Visnath. The list has been shortened. We're happy to say some have gone home, but unfortunately one didn't make it, and that was Sheila Simbudas, passed away last week, like I told you, I think. And we sympathize with the family, our condolences to the family members and those associated with the Simbudas family. We pray for peace in the heavenly regions, peace in the atmosphere, peace upon the earth as it affects our own lives. Om
Brahma Murari Sripurantrakari Manusha Shrim Bhuvasprobhasta Dushya Sutra Shadirahu Ketu Sarve Graha Shanti Bhavantu Sarve Graha Shanti Bhavantu
प्रेम से नवग्रह देवता की जय शरणम प्रभु। Once again, with flowers in hand, we meditate on Bhagavan Vishnu. Vishnu, the all-pervasive divinity, who becomes manifest from time to time, age to age, for the benefit of humankind, by whose grace and blessings the dumb speaks, the lame walks, the blind sees. Today we are asking and beseeching, O Bhagavan, in the same way you become manifest in the world for man's benefit, may you manifest yourself within my heart and be the guide of my intellect, guiding me in the path that leads to welfare, the path of truth, of dharma, of righteousness, and of religion. To this Mahavishnu, we join in our humble salutations. Om
Svashanka Chakram Satirika Kundalam Sabitavastram Swasmirveksham Saharakshastranostubhastiyam Namami Vishnu Shirasachakurujam Om Karoti Vacharam Mangulam Vaitegirim Yatukripatam Vande Om Nirangam Sita Samaropitavamagam Anam Mahasarika Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham Om Ramai Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sita
श्रीवत्सपदभूषितं गोविन्दं गोकुलानन्दं ब्रह्माण्डेरपि पूजितं श्री महाविष्णु भगवानुभ्यो नमः। ओम रम्यं सुशोभनं दिव्यं सर्वसौख्यकरं शुभं आसनं च मया रक्तं
पट में राधा फूल फूल में श्याम वही है ब्रज की भूमि वही है गोकुल धाम। सूरत बनी है राधा रोशनी है श्याम सूरत बनी है राधा रोशनी है श्याम चांद बनी है राधा चांदनी है श्याम बच्चे पट में राधा फूल फूल में श्याम वही है ब्रज की भूमि वही गोकुल धाम। बच्चे पट में राधा फूल फूल में श्याम वही है ब्रज की भूमि वही है गोकुल धाम। होली बनी है राधा तू मधुरता है श्याम शरीर बनी है राधा तू प्राण बनी है श्याम पटे पट में राधा फूल फूल में श्याम वही है ब्रज की भूमि वही है गोकुल धाम। पटे पट में राधा फूल फूल में श्याम वही है ब्रज की भूमि वही है गोकुल धाम। Krishna bring my Radha, Radha bring my Shyam. Krishna bring my Radha, Radha bring my Shyam. हर सुख पाए मानव जो उनको करे प्रणाम। पते पट में राधा फूल फूल में श्याम वही है ब्रज की भूमि वही है गोकुल धाम। पते पट में राधा फूल फूल में श्याम वही है ब्रज की भूमि वही है गोकुल धाम। वही है ब्रज की भूमि वही है गोकुल धाम।
Blessed is Mahavishnu Bhagwan ki jai Sharam Prabhu. Today we are once again glorify Bhagwan. We have the show to do with glorification bhajan.
हे कृष्ण गोपाल हरि हे दीन दयाल हरि हे जय जय कृष्ण गोपाल हरि हे दीन दयाल हरि जय जय कृष्ण गोपाल हरि हे दीन दयाल हरि। तुम करता तुम ही कारण तुम करता तुम ही कारण मरम पिता दीन दयाल हरि जय जय कृष्ण गोपाल हरि हे दीन दयाल हरि जय जय कृष्ण गोपाल हरि हे दीन दयाल हरि रथ हाथे रंग भूमि में और कर्मयोग के मजय रथ हाथे रंग भूमि में और कर्मयोग के मदय अजरा अमर है परमतात काया के दुख सुख समझा सका साधनी शरणागत है सका साधनी शरणागत है सदा प्रतिपाल हरे हे दीन दयाल हरे जय जय कृष्ण गोपाल हरे हे दीन दयाल हरि जय जय कृष्ण गोपाल हरि हे दीन दयाल हरि शाम के रंग में रंग गए मेरा रस खान तुलस के खान हुए शाम के रंग में रंग गए मेरा रस खान तुलस के कान हुए जग से आके बंद करे तू सुरदास में दर्श किए माता यशोदा ब्रज नारी के माता यशोदा ब्रज नारी के माखन छोड़ चले दीन दयाल हरि जय जय कृष्ण गोपाल हरि हे दीन दयाल हरि जय जय कृष्ण गोपाल हरि कृष्ण गोपाल हरि नंद की लाल हरि कृष्ण गोपाल हरि नंद की लाल हरि कृष्ण गोपाल हरि नंद की लाल हरि
महाविष्णु भगवान की जय शरणम प्रभु. Once again, with flowers in the hand, we meditate on Bhagavan Shiva Shambhu, Shiva symbolizing the real-absorbing aspect of divinity. Atman becomes submerged in the Paramatman. When moksha is achieved, he is called Vardhatma. Vardhatma, the giver of boons. By repeating the Panchakshar, Om Namah Shivaya with love and devotion. In the puja of Bhagavan Shiva, the sinful tendencies in all of us, Pradhamaya, anger, greed, jealousy, covetousness, hatred, pride, envy, all products of the ego, these become burnt in the fires of our devotion. In this manner, we are able to attain purity of thoughts, of words, of deeds, of mind, of intellect, of actions, which are prerequisites for self-realization. By offering puja, offering bhajans to Bhagavan Shiva with love and with devotion. I invite you now to sit upright, to cast away the worldly cares. We all have them. Let's put these at the back of the minds for a little while. Meditate on the most pleasing aspect of Bhagavan. Bhagavan is beyond names, beyond forms. The names and the forms are tools that we use to help us to keep the mind from wandering. Let's use those tools now. Imprint the image of Bhagavan Shiva within the heart. Let's ask him to make his home therein. and to be the guide of our intellect, guiding us on the path of the highest welfare, the path of truth, of dharma, of righteousness, and of religion. To this Shiva, we join in humble supplications. Om Pashunam Patim Pavanasham Paresham Gajendra Sakritim Vasanam Harenam Jatajutamate Suradatam Namaram Mahadeva Ekam Smarani Smararim Om Mahesham Suresham Saratinasham Vibhum Vishwanatham Vibhutyam Nabhusham Virupakshamandharatam Ahmitrinetram Saranandamire Prabhu Panchavaktam Om Girisham Ganesham Galenjivaranam Gajendrarirudam Namatikarupan Bhavam Bhasmanam Bhasmanam Ushitangam Bhavani Karantam Vaje Panchavaktam Om Shivakanta Shambho Shashankara Maheshana Shulim Jatajutadhari Tvameko Jatavyatmako Vishwarupa Prasidam Prasidam Ahopurnarupam Om Namaste Namaste Devo Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chidananda Murti Namaste Namaste Tapayoga Gamya Namaste Namaste Shudhyana Gamya Om Prabhu Shulapane Viho Vishwanath Mahadeva Shambho Manesha Prinetra Shivakanta Shanta Smarare Purare Vadanyo Varenyo Namanyo Nagamya Vadanyo Varenyo Namanyo Nagamya Om Sri Shiv Shankara Bhagwanabhyo Namaha Namami Om Ramyam Sashobhanam Divyam Savasaukhyakaram Shubham Asanam cha maya raktam grihana Shiva Shankaram Om namostu Nilagrimayam Sahasrakshaya Midushe Athoyasya Satmano Antebhyo Karandana Om Triyambakam Yajamani Sugandhim Pushtivarnam Urvaru Turabhamya Mrityurmukshyamamritat Om Varanasya Utam Varnasi Varanasya Sponsajanisu Varanasya Retsalanyasi Varanasya Retsalanmasi Varanasya Retsalanmasi Padyavargyamachmanyam Snanam Sri Shiv Shankara Bhagwan Pujanam Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Namo Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Namo Namah Om Gokshivadhamandesha Gokshive Maya Kritam Snapanam Leva Deveshvara Shiva Shankaram Shiv Snanam Sri Shiv Shankara Bhagwan Pujanam Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Namo Om Namah Shivaya Namo Namah Om Panchamritam
शिवाय नमो नमः ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय नमो नमः
ओम शुद्धाला सर्वशुद्धालो मणिमालस्ताश्मिना शब्दाशेताक्षुरुणस्ते रूपा पशुपते कर्मण्यानम् अविलिप्ता रौद्रा नमो रूपा पारजन्या शुद्धजल स्नानम् श्री शिव शंकर भगवान पूजनम् ओम नमः
शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय नमो नमः ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय नमो नमः
प्रेम से उस शिव शंकर भगवान की जय
शरण
ओम शीतवादोषसंत्राणं जयरक्षणं परं देहं कर्णं वस्त्रं प्रताटं प्रतीरयतामिति वस्त्रदानं ब्रह्मज्ञानं प्रथमं पुरस्ताद् विस्मृता सुचरिणां
शंभो तेरे मंदिर में शंभो तेरे मंदिर में हम दर्शन पाने आए तेरे सेवक जन भी मस्ती तेरे सेवक जन भी मस्ती तेरी महिमा गाने आए तेरे शंभो ढोल मजीरे नगारे भी ढोल मजीरे नगारे भी बजते हैं तेरे शिव सुन कर तेरे डमरू की रमरमी सुन कर तेरे डमरू की रमरमी भाग्य जगाने आए हैं हे शंभो तेरे मंदिर हम दर्शन पाने आए त्रिशूल धारी कैलाशपति त्रिशूल धारी कैलाशपति है तेरी दया के प्राण तेरी दया की बहती गंगा से तेरी दया की बहती गंगा से अब प्यास बुझाने आए तेरे शंभो तेरे मंदिर हम दर्शन पाने आए तेरे सेवक जन भी तेरी महिमा गाने आए तेरे शंभो तेरे मंदिर हम दर्शन पाने आए हैं ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
प्रेम से उसी शिव शंकर भगवान की जय शरणम प्रभु. We'll join to glorify Bhagavan to the Panchakshara Stotram now, and Amar will lead us once again.
Nageshwara, Shiva Nageshwara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Rameshwara, Shiva Rameshwara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Rameshwara, Shiva Rameshwara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Gandhara, Shiva Gandhara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Gandhara, Shiva Gandhara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Shiva Gandhara, Shiva Gandhara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Shiva Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya. Om Atmatam Nirjamati Sahachakara Shariram Ram Pujate Vishwarupabhogachana Nidra Samadhishtiti Sancharapayopadakshanavari Stotrani Sarvagiro Yadyat Karam Karoni Karatakyam Shambho Davaradam Om Karacharam Kridhamma Kayajam Karmajam Sravanajam Samaharam Vitam Vitam Vasaram Vitakshamasva Jai Jai Karunabhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho Jai Jai Karunabhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho Prem se Vasi Shiv Shankara Bhagwan Ki Jai Sharanam Prabhu. At this time we'll be taking the prasadam, the abhishekam will go on. I want to remind you, of course, that if you touch utensils used by others, please sanitize your hands before you sit down again. Keep safe, keep your distance, one at a time, please. We'll have the kirtan and bhajan continuing, and I gotta say quite a few people are here still to sing, so this might be a lengthy session, but that's good. I'm glad to see you guys start out today and join in this contribution to our community, and now to the world at large. Anybody who's got Facebook can tune in here and watch it at any time. So please, thank you all for coming out today. Thank you for participating, and the musicians and singers especially. You got this place rocking, man. I tell you, this is my hair keeps standing on the edge here, and the back of my head's steady. So it means things are going good. All of you put extra in today, I think. But that's excellent. Go ahead, please.
Hey Tripurari, Hey Gangadhari, Bhole Shankar. Hey Tripurari, Hey Gangadhari, Bhole Shankar. Tripurari, He Gangadhari, Bhole Shankar. He Tripurari, He Gangadhari, Bhole Shankar. Basam Rama, Bhakt Samaye Hai Kailas ki Basi. Dikha do chaliya Kashi, Tere Bhakt Kashi, Akiya Darshan ki Kasi. Hey Tripurari, Gangadhari. Prati jo bole bhava kudhari, Prati jo bole bhava kudhari. Andhne ki unka jnaan nakhaake, Pushp chharaake, bachan hiraake tere shankar. Pushp chharaake, बचने की आगे तेरे शंकर. सुन पुकार सर्वदा थारे कैलाश निवासी. दिखा दो छबिया काशी, तेरे भक्त दिया धरती पे काशी. हे त्रिपुरारी, हे गंगाधारी, भोले शंकर. बसम रहा बात सहाय कैलाश. दिखा दो छबिया काशी, तेरे भक्त दिया दर्शन कैलाश. हे त्रिपुरारी,
वीर हनुमान अति बलवान राम नाम रसिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे वीर हनुमान अति बलवान राम नाम रसिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम 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 सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम 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 सिया राम वीर हनुमान अति बलवान राम राम सिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे
हरिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे दीन दयाला तेरी तेरी माला संकट हरिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे जय राम सिया राम जय राम 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 सिया राम सबकी सुन लो रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे जो कोई आए हरे बखावे संकट सुनियो रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे जय राम सिया राम जय राम 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 सिया राम कोई संगी हाथ में देंगे जल्दी हरिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे ना कोई संगी हाथ में देंगे जल्दी हरिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे जय राम सिया राम जय राम 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 सिया राम जय राम सिया राम जय राम 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 सिया राम जो कोई तेरी तुझको मैं चाहे तेरे पाँव तेरे रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे जो कोई तेरी तुझको मैं चाहे तेरे पाँव तेरे रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे जय राम सिया राम जय राम 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 सिया राम जय राम सिया राम जय राम 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 सिया राम वीर हनुमाना अति बलवाना राम नाम रसिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे वीर हनुमाना अति बलवाना राम नाम रसिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे
मन हरिहर हो सुमेरो मन नारायण भजु मन
हरिहर हो सुमेरो मन नारायण
भजु मन हरिहर हो सुमेरो मन नारायण
भजु मन हरिहर हो सुमेरो मन नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि भजु मन हरिहर हो सुमिरो मन नारायण भजो मन सूरज भजो मन पवन सुमिरो मन भजो मन हरिहरौ सुमिरो मन नारायण भजो मन ब्रह्मा भजो मन विष्णु भजो मन ब्रह्मा भजो मन विष्णु भजो मन शिव ओंकार सुमिरो मन नारायण भजो मन शिव ओंकार सुमिरो मन नारायण भजो मन सीता भजो मन राम 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 भजो मन हनुमत वीर सुमिरो मन नारायण भजो मन हनुमत वीर सुमिरो मन नारायण नारायण हरि 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 भजो मन हरिहरौ सुमिरो मन नारायण भजो मन हरिहरौ सुमिरो मन नारायण सुमिरो मन नारायण सुमिरो मन नारायण सुमिरो मन नारायण
जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
तेरी लीला सबसे न्यारी न्यारी हरि हरि
तेरे लीला सबसे न्यारी 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 न्यारी
जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
तेरी महिमा तेरी महिमा तेरी महिमा प्रभु है न्यारी
That's it?
Yep.
We're almost done.
That's on the deal.
Alright, I'm gonna sing another one and then we'll begin. I'd like you to sing the Hari Om one, please. It's my favorite song ever. That was excellent.
And the drummer was top notch.
We got to compliment the drummer. He did
Thank you,
great.
Auntie Golden. Thank you. I always say if you don't get the right drummer, it's not good.
Good. Excellent. Good place to
And the downtown man.
pause for a minute while we offer our salutations to
Definitely
Bhagwan.
having excellent treat today.
Yeah, it was good. Om Lokaviramam Rajivanetram Raghuvanshanatham Karunyarupam Karunakaram Shri Ram प्रेम से श्यामपति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम प्रभु. Now, when we left off the last time, and what we are looking at, of course, is the departure of Sri Ram from Ayodhya, which is the main reason why the demise of the ego Ravan came about. So we're looking to see and link the two together in such a way that the lessons contained therein, we can invite them ourselves to help ourselves as we make this journey of life. A journey which is wonderful, no doubt about it, but unfortunately which will come to an end at some time. And it's unfortunate that it does, but it happens for a reason. We get a new chance with a new body to once again work our way towards the source, towards liberation. A lot of us think that is indeed a cruel thing, and what kind of a divinity would this be to allow it to happen? But think about it in this way, it's probably for a blessing that it happens. Because when the body becomes old and decrepit and unable to move around and you can't do things for yourself, don't you wish you just had to go? You yourself will welcome it at that time. And let's hope that never happens to any of us here, or those who are listening as well. Let's hope when we pass on healthy, still able to help ourselves and still with the mental faculty there. That's probably the best possibly, and the best way would probably be to when you go to bed, you don't wake up. So it happens easily. You know how much pain there must be when this separation of body and jiva takes place? There has to be. We haven't experienced it in this body, we have experienced it before in the Atman. But we haven't experienced it body-wise in this body anyway. So nobody knows for sure what happens, but I would think the reason why the Hindus invented a name like Kal Bhairav, who actually oversees this actual aspect of life, that the separation, Bhairav makes it easy for the separation to take place. And that easy mean is dependent upon our karma, okay? So don't think it's for everybody. We have to earn it. And like everything else, if you want money, you gotta go earn it at the work. Or steal it if you want to. So some of us will buy a lottery ticket, but the best way possible is to earn it gainfully employed. Now when we left the last time, the Sri Ram, of course, had departed from the crowd that was following him, wanted to go to exile with him, and he had to extricate himself very cleverly. In a sense, he made a charioteer Sumantra drive the chariot in one direction, then in another, and so all the tracks became confused and nobody could find their way out of it. Now, dead ends are normal in life too. We come to a spot where we can't go any further. We don't know what to do. So, in this case, they found out what they had to do was to go back to their home because they couldn't find their way out of the tracks that Sri Ram had left. And Ram, Sita, Sumant, and Lakshman proceeded on, and we'll pick up the story, of course, from where they left. And the people, of course, of Ayodhya are unable to find how to extricate themselves from the tracks. And what happens next? Tulsidas writes, Chaupai. And so, like all of us, when we lose our way, there's always lamentation going on. You know, we can't find our way out of the mess that we find ourselves. What happens? We begin to cry. We begin to holler and blame everybody else but yourself. That's how it is. Think about it. When we find ourselves in trouble, don't we always look for someone else to blame?
Yes.
Even when we know we're wrong, we still try to blame others. That if this person hadn't done that, I wouldn't have done this. You gotta justify yourself. We all are that way. We're built that way, unfortunately. But the whole idea is stop looking for outside help and start looking within for your strength. Because that's where the strength lies. We need to take responsibility for ourselves. With many such lamentations, and what were they lamenting? Why is it that this has happened to us and Bhagavan hasn't caused us to die? Because we can't find our way now. We're losing the best thing that we had, which is Sri Ram, becoming king of Ayodhya, and now he's gone. What is the point in living? There's no point in living anymore, but there always is. The hope, of course, that is inbuilt within all of us, inherent within us, it's innate actually, you will say. That hope, of course, keeps us doing what we're doing and keep going until we can't go anymore. That hope is always there. Even the man who is dying is hoping against hope that he will recover from his illness and will be able to join society again. It may not always happen, but it could happen. But that hope is important. That hope, of course, is what allows us to perform the deeds that will help us to cross this ocean of life and death eventually. Without that hope, we'll just carry on life as if there's no tomorrow. For most of us, it's like that. There's no tomorrow. Today is the day. You live for the present. And that's okay. Nothing is wrong in living for the present. This is a gift for all of us. Yesterday is history. I've said this many times. Yesterday's history is gone. We can't do anything about it anymore. Tomorrow, that's the future. We don't know what's going to happen there. But today is the present, and that is a gift that we need, you know. Gift and present go together. You see the little pun there? I gotta point it out to some of you. You didn't catch that. I can see that. So this is a present that we've been given to make hay while the sun shines. If we don't do it now, when are we going to do it? Tomorrow it never comes. And yesterday we can't do anything about it already. But today we can do something about it. Don't wait for tomorrow what you can do today. And that's what the lesson here is. They all return to Ayodhya full of bitter remorse. And of course, we are remorseful when things don't go our way. We know that. The anguish of parting was terrible beyond words. And it was only the hope of his return, see, the hope of Sri Rama's return that kept them all going. And this is what we need to. The hope has to be there that one day we will make that connection that will help us to come to self-realization. It's there. It's always there. Each one of us is equipped. We have all the equipments necessary. Nobody is left out. Even someone who may be disabled mentally, they still have the equipment. I have to tell you a little joke here. My little grandson, the little Everett, they used to have a dog called Puck. Puck died a few years back. But they have a new one now named Bo. And my wife and I always mix up the two names, So when you say, well, how is the dog? Instead of saying, how is Puck, right? Instead of saying, how is Bo? So Friday he called and we were chatting, and we were chatting on FaceTime. And I made a mistake and said, how is Bo? No, how is Puck? And he paused for me and said, Puck must be doing very well in the spiritual world. So it was a big laugh. It was a big laugh for us. But I had to pause for a minute and think, how can he know this? Yeah. So obviously the kids are listening, but we think they're not paying attention. They're hearing. But because they're children, we really don't think about how much they actually know. So that hope of reuniting once again is what kept them going. That hope of reuniting with our Jivatman, with the Paramatman, keeps us going as well. And we have a long way to go. I can't see myself achieving liberation in this lifetime, so that means I'll be back here. Hopefully I'll be back as a more sensible person as the stupid one I am now. But that's how it is. Some of you may think I'm smart, but actually I'm not. I'm a little putty. Too soft. I need to discipline myself a little bit more. But like I always say, it takes your spouse to bring you back to earth when you're flying a bit too high. And mine never fails to do it. We'll continue now with the Doha.
Jai Ram,
So what is Tulsi telling us here? When you don't get something that you actually want, what do you normally do? All of us do it. We begin to pray, right? We begin to ask Bhagwan, Bhagwan, I need this, I need that. And all of us, unfortunately, we think Bhagwan is some kind of Father Christmas is going to give you what you want and whenever you ask for it. The Father Christmas are your parents, by the way, you know that. So the thing is, when these people of Ayodhya, the citizens of Ayodhya, are unable to get what they wanted, which was to have Sri Ram crowned as the king, what they do? Men and women alike began to practice religious observances and fast for ensuring Sri Rama's return. What we do it for is so that we can get material things. These people actually want something important here. They want the life force that has left them to come back into the body. That's what it is. So while they might still be alive, they've lost something that is very dear to them. The one that can give them the Ram Raj that we all seek. Everybody seeks Ram Raj, where justice prevails. Everybody is looking for a world like that. But unfortunately, we live in the one we get, and there are pairs of opposites for a reason. They're there to teach us the lessons on what to avoid and what to practice. Think about it. You don't wait until something bad has happened to begin to recognize and to perform austerities. All of us do that. When things are going well, nobody has time for temple, believe me. Nobody has time for praying even at home. But the minute something seems to go wrong, oh my. First you'll call it Pandit. Pandit, do I have any grant? Well, is there a problem? If not the Pandit, you call the astrologer. What's going on in my life? Now, whether you want to or not, that's up to you, okay? Everybody is entitled to the way they act themselves. This is a free world after all. We are allowed to act freely. But once we act freely, be prepared to accept the responsibilities that goes with that freedom as well. And this is where our trouble comes. Everybody wants to act freely. But the minute something goes wrong, you don't want that responsibility at all. You pass it on to someone else. Well, look, life is of such that we need to take responsibilities for our own actions. Stop looking up, start looking in. Stop blaming others, take responsibility. Does that make sense? All right. I got some converts here, that's good. It's good. All right, so what happened? They were as miserable as a chacal. Chacal is a bird, of course, which when the night comes, it becomes it starts making wailful sounds. And his mate, and the lotus which is bereft of the sight of the sun. So when the sun is not there, they're not happy. When the sun is not there, what happens with the lotus? The flower crawls into itself. So it needs the sun to survive. And like all flowers, they're dealing with it. Nowadays we got some really good flowers, they last days and days and days on the plant. And even when you pick them, they last days too. But where do we come from? Every morning the hibiscus is nice, and by evening what happens? It starts curling in. So those are all kinds of flowers. That's how the tropical flowers behave. Here they learn to cope with the cold. But that's how it is. So we ourselves when we don't have that hope, we begin to quarrel inwards as well. That's why you need the hope. Continuing. Chopra. On the other side now, this is what is happening in Ayodhya. In the forest, of course, we have to pick up the story. The story says, accompanied by Sita, the minister, the two brothers arrive at Shringavirpur. That's a little town, city on the bank of the Ganga there. On beholding the celestial stream, the Ganges, the Ganga, Rama alighted from his chariot and in an ecstasy of delight made his obeisance. Now when you look at this in this way, the Ganga emerges from the feet of Mahavishnu, right? So that's where it comes from. Here is Vishnu now in his avatar, coming to the Ganga in his chariot. What does he do? He has to make himself known. The same way Sri Krishna had to let Yamuna know when he was in that little winnowing basket on the head of his father, Vasudeva. Only when his feet touched the water did the water subside. The same way Sri Ram now has to pay obeisance to this Ganges, which came from him actually. But it's just to show you, the Indians are very thankful for nature and the way nature has revealed itself and evolved. And we all have to be. Without nature evolving in this way, we wouldn't be able to be here. So we are thankful that it is because of what happens on this planet we are able to survive and we are able to prosper. Unfortunately, what we don't do is live long. Not long enough anyway. But that is how it is. We can't have everything. But by not having everything, we are able to develop ourselves. Because if that drive was not in there, that ambition was not there, what would we do? We'll all be without anything. So we need that drive, that ambition to help us along, that hope, that I can make it better for myself. Am I making it better for myself? I make it better for my family. I make the world better. A lot of us think, when we go to our little job, we make a little product of some kind or the other. This is a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. You're contributing to the society. You're earning a living and you're spending in that society to make it prosper. Have you ever thought of it that way? Most people hate their jobs. Listen, let me tell you something. Be thankful you have a job first of all. And be thankful not only that you're paid for that job, but you're contributing to the society in which you live by having that job. Hate it is one thing. Nobody likes their jobs. But you like the money, right? You like the income that comes from the job. A person who loves his job never works a day in his life. Have you ever put it that way? What you should start doing now, start liking your job. Who doesn't like their job? Let me say show of hands. Nobody will say that now.
I love my job.
Thank you. You know why I like my job? I get to meet people. I get to associate with them. I get to learn about them. I get to mingle with them. And after all, a life without being able to be with others is no life at all. And that is what it is about.
During COVID, many people don't see the
This is why COVID has been so hard on us, and especially on the elderly folks. They're used to one way of life. And we suddenly pull that rug from under their feet. What happens? They become sick and die. We need the company, we need each other's company to be able to be happy. Happiness comes from association. I have to stop here at this time, my time's up. But I want to thank all of you for coming out today and joining with me as we explore this story of Sri Ram. And I only read that little bit there about Sringapur, but we'll look at this a little bit more in detail the next time before I start. And hopefully we can. But before I close up here, Prince Osyapati Ramachandra ki Jai. I want to remind you, of course, that on the 26th of December, okay, I'm looking ahead. That's the Boxing Day, and we have Sunday as well. So, and I won't be able to be here. Now, what I want to do from you, if anybody, let me see a show of hands who want to come out.
And so do I. I'm not going to be here.
Can I see a show of hands of people who would like to be here on the 26th of December? Just you, Diamati?
If service is
Did you raise your hand?
If service is here, I'm here. Service is here.
Yeah.
No,
He
no.
wants to decide whether service.
I'm gonna have to decide whether service is gonna be on or
Yes, you
not,
can.
because I won't be here, but I'll try to arrange one of the other priests if they because it's a holiday day and it's a holiday weekend. A lot of you are not gonna turn out, I know that, but if only 1, 5 or 6 people, what I can suggest is that you wanna come here, we'll try to open the temple, you can come and sing a few bhajans and go home. Will that make sense?
Yes, Pandit.
So let me know who are gonna be here. If there's enough, we will try to make it happen. Alright? Emo is gonna be here, so she got a key, she will open up. Oh. It's just a month away, don't worry. It's just a month away. So, alright, we'll reach this subject again next time. By then you'll have a chance to think of who's gonna want to come, and then we'll see how it works, alright?
So they're gonna have service the week before, right?
The week before and the week after is okay.
Yeah, okay.
So January the 2nd is alright. That's the first Sunday of the new year, 2022. But it's the Boxing Day is the problem. Because most companies are going to be giving you a 4-day weekend, 5-day probably. So because it's on the weekend, so you get the Monday and Tuesday off, or the Friday and Monday off, I'm not sure. Depends on how things work, on what the consensus is. But that's a long weekend, a long weekend. You might want to spend time with your family. I don't want to take that away from you. At the same time, since I can't be here because of other commitments, I'll try to arrange something if any of you will show up, or some of you will show up. If not, you'll come in, who wants to come, and you'll get a few bhajans in and help yourself. Alright, you can make some prasad as well and share it amongst yourself. But let me know who's gonna come first, and then we'll decide. Thank you so much for that. We don't have any donation. Yeah, I do
Yes,
have a
you do.
donation. Yes, I do.
I
Yeah. I have a donation of $10 for membership and $200 from Marie Colisar. And we thank Marie and her family for their continuing support of this temple. I gotta mention here, of course, our insurance bill for the temple came up this week, and you know what's been happening in the society for a little while now. What has been happening is a lot of temples and churches and synagogues and various other places are being desecrated, and paint and everything else go on them, including mosques as well. So the insurance for these places have gone up, unfortunately. And when I'm talking up, I'm talking about, think about 4 times what you're paying for your home. And we only use this place a little bit, right? So it's unfortunate, but it's happened. So I'm thankful for the donations so we can pay these bills. They come in, we have to handle them, otherwise we'll be in trouble. So we are grateful for any donations that come in to help us to keep the bills going. It's not like we don't have money, all of you know we do have, but we like to keep the spending and the income around the same level if we can. Alright, thanks a lot. And thank you for coming up once again. And I said it, we do have the 2022 calendars, yes, that's true. And what else is there? I don't think I missed anything else. Next week we continue as regular. So I hope all of you will be able to join us again. Please let us know. Are you clapping there, Shanta? Are you just warming yourself? Which one?
And if we need people to help sell the calendar.
Yeah, we still need people to help sell the calendars. We got quite a few of them still, because I don't meet a lot of people these days, it's hard to get rid of them. When things were the pre-COVID time, I'll handle a few hundreds easily. Now, it's hard. So we need assistance from everybody else to cooperate and to get it out of the way. You are meeting your family, I'm meeting my family. I've already met my family pretty much. But some of you still have to meet your family. Take 10 of them and give them if you have to. And as a little gift for the holidays. It's a New Year gift that they can use all year. So think about it that way. It's a cheap one too, you don't have to pay a lot for it. So thank you so much for coming out today. After the RT, Shyam will do the closing prayers once again, and then we'll finish. So thank you all. Let's please stand for RT and closing.
आरती जय श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन सीता आरती जय श्री रघुवर Shiva
Om Shantakaram Bhujagashayam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasarvisham Megavarnam Suparam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yoginirjnanagamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavaiharam Sarvalokekanatham Tvameva Matascha Pita Tvameva Bandhuja Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mamadeva Deva Om Mantrihinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janam Yajatujatam Maya Deva Paripurnam Charasve Om Paramagarho Harshadeva Siram Parasarojana Palimahi Bhakti Sada Satasandasya Bhaji Ramachandra Ki Jai Sharanam Prabhu. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः ॐ यौ शान्ति अन्तरिक्षत्वं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्ति आपा शान्ति ओषधयो शान्ति वनस्पतय शान्ति विश्वदेव शान्ति ब्रह्मा शान्ति सर्वं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति शान्ति देवी शान्ति शांति शांति हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय।